Crystal chandeliers shimmer above marble floors as soft music fills the grand hall. Elegant gowns sweep past polished shoes at the Hartford Museum Spring Gala, a night where New York's elite celebrate wealth under the banner of charity. Among them moves 23-year-old Maxine Waters, dressed in a crisp black uniform and white apron, blending into the background the way servers often do. With practiced balance, she carries a tray through the crowd and the skill of someone who's worked multiple jobs since high school. Around her neck glints a silver necklace, a crescent moon intertwined with a compass rose. Worn and beautiful, standing out against her dark skin, a woman's voice slices through the murmurs. Isn't it inappropriate for the help to wear such flashy jewelry? Heads turn, whispers spread. Maxine instinctively touches the necklace, her only link to a past she doesn't remember. Then the room falls silent. 81-year-old Eleanor Whitmore stands frozen. Her champagne glass slips from her hand and shatters on the floor. The color drains from her face as she stares at the necklace, lips moving soundlessly. "Victoria," she whispers, her eyes distant. "Have you ever wondered how one simple object could unlock secrets buried for decades, revealing truths that could change everything you thought you knew?" 3 days earlier, Maxine's small Bronx apartment, 482 square feet of peeling paint and stubborn windows that never quite close. But it's hers. Nursing textbooks cover every surface: anatomy, pharmacology, patient care. Finals are in 2 weeks. Between double shifts and endless study sessions, sleep is a luxury she can't afford. On her makeshift desk sits a worn manila folder, her entire history inside. She opens it for the 1,000th time, a birth certificate marked Baby Girl Waters. Ward of the State, date found, June 15, 2002. Location, Roosevelt Medical Center, New York. Tucked inside is a photo of the same necklace, along with a handwritten note. "This was pinned to your blanket when they found you. I kept it safe." Signed, Mrs. Judith Carter, her foster mother from ages 12 to 16, the only person who ever felt like family, gone 7 years now from cancer. Maxine traces the tiny engraved date beneath the compass rose, May 29, 2002, 2 weeks before she was found abandoned. Her roommate, Tessa Rodriguez, appears in the doorway, fellow nursing student, best friend, chosen sister. "You're doing it again," Tessa says gently. "The necklace thing." "It means something, Tess," Maxine murmurs, not looking up. "The engraving's custom work, expensive. Someone cared enough to have this made." "Maybe your birth mom was rich and had a breakdown," Tessa suggests. "Or maybe she was running." Maxine closes the folder. "Either way, I need to focus. Finals won't pass themselves." But she doesn't take off the necklace. She never does. For 21 years, it's never left her neck, not once. Dr. Okafor's tone is calm but grave. This was either a catastrophic medical error, or someone intentionally falsified the records. Detective Costa finishes reading. Eleanor rises slowly, her grief now hardened into resolve. Find out who delivered that baby. Who signed the death certificate? Who was in that delivery room? And why my granddaughter was left to die while I buried an empty coffin. The next morning, the DNA results arrive through a secure email. Dr. Okafor opens the file, her hands steady though her eyes flicker with emotion. Probability of biological relationship between Eleanor Whitmore and Maxine Waters. She pauses. 97%. The room erupts. Carolyn Whitmore turns pale. "That's impossible. I was there. I saw the funeral." "You saw my daughter's funeral," Eleanor replies quietly. "No one showed me the baby. They said it would be too traumatic." Maxine can't breathe. 23 years of pain, poverty, and unanswered questions, all built on a lie. "Why?" she whispers. "Why would anyone do this?" Patrick's expression darkens. "Maybe we should ask who benefited from Victoria's death." All eyes shift to Carolyn. She stiffens. "How dare you? I wasn't even married to Thomas in 2002. "But you were dating him," Patrick says evenly. "You were at the hospital that night." Detective Costa opens another file. "Let's go over the delivery team. Who had access, who signed what?" Sometimes the darkest truths hide beneath decades of lies. Someone was willing to destroy a child's life to keep those lies buried. 72 hours after the DNA confirmation, Eleanor's estate attorney, Margaret Shen, arrives with boxes of documents, 23 years of records. The group gathers: Eleanor, Maxine, Patrick, Costa, Dr. Okafor, Carolyn, and her lawyer, Harrison Breenage. When Victoria died, Margaret explained, spreading out files, her estate passed according to this structure. She points to a document. If her child survived, that child inherited her share, approximately $1.8 billion today. Maxine's heart sinks. Billion with a B. With no living heir, Margaret continues, the funds reverted to the 1998 Trust Amendment. She slides another paper forward. Secondary beneficiary, Thomas Whitmore. Carolyn's tone sharpens. Thomas died years ago. What does this prove? Patrick answers. Thomas ran Whitmore Industries until his death. You've managed it, and the foundation, ever since. Detective Costa pulls up financial records. June 2002, Dr. Philip Grayson, hospital. Administrator received a $250,000 consulting fee from Whitmore Industries. Approved by Thomas Whitmore. The room falls silent. Eleanor's voice is cold. Thomas paid the hospital administrator the same month my daughter died. It gets worse, Costa adds, showing another transfer. June 2003, $500,000 from a shell company. Clearwater Medical Consulting dissolved in 2004. Registered agent, Simon Vetch. Carolyn freezes. Your cousin, Costa finishes. I'm calling my attorney, she snaps. Eleanor's voice stops her mid-step. Sit down. You're not leaving until we find out what happened. Costa scrolls to another page. Hospital staff from the delivery, Dr. Alan Mercer, retired. Nurse Linda Hartwell, retired. Anesthesiologist Dr. Paul Rickman, deceased. And attending physician, Dr. Gerald Thornton, terminated in 2003 for falsifying medical records. Lost his license in 2005. Last known address, Jacksonville, Florida. Patrick leans forward. Someone paid him. Carolyn's lawyer objects. That's speculation. Eleanor cuts in sharply. Then explain the money. Explain why my nephew paid Grayson. Explain why your cousin's company paid him more. Carolyn's voice trembles. Thomas handled those affairs, and I didn't know. Maxine stands, voice steady. You were there that night. I was left at that hospital 3 days later. Because I was Thomas's girlfriend, Carolyn blurts. Then why didn't they sell the necklace? Maxine asks, touching it. Why keep it with me? Dr. Okafor's quiet voice breaks the silence. Because it was insurance. If the baby was ever found, the necklace would prove it. Later that day, Costa contacts nurse Linda Hartwell. Her weathered face appears on a video call. I wondered when this day would come, she says softly. The baby didn't die. She was healthy, crying, pink, perfect. Eleanor's breath catches. Then what happened? Dr. Thornton took her out, told us to record a stillbirth, said it was a family request. I was young and scared. 3 days later, I saw him arguing with a woman in a red coat in the hospital garage. He handed her something wrapped in a blanket. Why didn't you report it? Okafor asks. I tried, Linda whispers. But the administrator threatened me. Then I got letters, threats, pictures of my daughter's school. I kept quiet. I'm so sorry. Costa asks, that woman, the red coat, can you describe her? Designer, Burberry maybe. Tall. Moved with confidence. Patrick's face goes pale. Carolyn had a red Burberry coat. Thomas bought it in 2001. The room stills. Carolyn's voice shakes. Thousands of women own red coats. Eleanor's tone cuts like glass. Then take a polygraph. Even her lawyer sighs. Given the evidence, it might be wise to cooperate. That night, in Eleanor's study, Maxine sits by the window staring at the city lights. I don't know how to be your granddaughter, she whispers. I don't know how to be your grandmother, Eleanor admits gently. But we'll learn. They threw me away, Maxine says, voice breaking. No, Eleanor replies, taking her hand. They stole you. You were wanted. I just didn't know. Before they can say more, Patrick enters. Detective Costa found Thornton. He's in Florida, and he's willing to talk. Eleanor stands. Then we're going to Florida. There's more, Patrick adds hesitantly. A private investigator's been following Maxine, hired through Whitmore Industries' security division. The approval code traces back to Carolyn. When powerful people feel threatened, they don't just hide the truth. They try to erase it. Jacksonville, Florida. 2 days later, Costa and Patrick arrive at a decaying apartment complex. Dr. Ow. Gerald Thornton lives there now. He opens the door, a hollow man haunted by the past. I knew someone would come, he mutters. But they'll kill me if I talk. Who? Patrick presses. I don't know. That's the point. Costa leans in. Tell us what happened. June 12, 2002. Thornton exhales shakily. I was paid $100,000 in cash to falsify the stillbirth record and leave the baby in a maintenance closet near the loading dock. I was told she'd be picked up for private adoption. No paperwork. You believed that? Patrick asks. I wanted to, Thornton whispers. The baby had her mother's necklace. I left it with her. Thought she should have something from her. What happened next? Costa asks. I came back an hour later. She was gone. I thought it was over. But 3 days later I saw the news and an abandoned baby found at Roosevelt. That's when I knew. He looks up, tears in his eyes. Whoever was supposed to save her never did. Thornton hesitates. There was one voicemail left by mistake, he says slowly. A woman's voice. She said, "Tell Grayson it's done." Then she hung up. A moment later she called again and said, "Forget that message." Costa asks, "Can you describe her voice?" Thornton nods. Educated, cold, the kind of person used to giving orders. And there was a faint accent, European maybe, like someone who had lived abroad. Costa and Patrick exchanged tense looks. Thornton continues. After that night, the threats began. Letters, photos of my daughter at school, her route home. I moved to Florida, changed my name, stopped practicing medicine, but they still found me. He lifts his shirt to reveal a scar. 2 years ago, a man cornered me in a grocery store parking lot and stabbed me. He said if I ever talked again, the next time would be fatal. Back in New York, at Eleanor's estate, Amara can't sleep. It's 3 a.m. She's in the guest house, guarded by 24-hour security. Her phone buzzes, a message from Tessa. You okay? Saw the news. This is insane. The media has discovered everything. Headlines flood the internet. Whitmore heir found after 23 years, stolen or abandoned. Amara stares at the screen, unable to respond. Then another text arrives from an unknown number. Stop asking questions. You survived once. Don't test your luck. Her hands tremble. She screenshots the message and sends it to Detective Costa. But fear settles deep in her chest. The next morning, everyone gathers in Eleanor's conference room. Eleanor, Amara, Patrick, Costa, Margaret Shen, and Dr. Okafor. Costa relays Thornton's statement. Margaret speaks first. The voicemail, a woman's voice, European accent. That's distinctive. Patrick opens a file. Carolyn Whitmore, born Carolyn DuPont. Father French-American, mother Swiss. Spent summers in Geneva as a child. She has a slight accent when tired or angry. Eleanor's expression hardens. That's circumstantial. We need more. Costa replies, I'm working on it. Dr. Philip Grayson, hospital administrator. Current address, Miami. A warrant's being processed. Should be ready in 48 hours. Too long, Eleanor says firmly. I want answers now, Patrick interjects carefully. There's something else. I checked Thomas's financial records from 2002. Multiple cash withdrawals totaling $850,000 between May and June. $100,000 went to Thornton. $250,000 to Grayson. Margaret calculates aloud. That leaves $500,000 unaccounted for. Or already paid to someone else, Dr. Okafor murmurs. The question is, to whom? That afternoon, Amara returns to her Bronx apartment to collect clothes and books. Security offered to go with her, but she refused, needing space. A mistake. She climbs the dark stairwell to her third-floor unit. The hallway light is still broken. Turning the key, she steps inside. The apartment is silent. She reaches for the light switch. Suddenly, a hand grabs her from behind and slams her against the wall. A man's cold voice hisses, "Stop asking questions." Amara's nursing training takes over. She drives her elbow into his ribs. He grunts, loosening his grip. She spins. A man in his 40s, scar above his eyebrow, eyes lifeless. He pulls a knife. They said to make it look like a robbery. Her heart races. 3 feet from the door, 10 from the stairs. He lunges, she drops low. The knife scrapes the wall. She sprints down the stairs, his footsteps pounding behind her. First floor, lobby. She bursts into the street screaming. Witnesses turn. The attacker freezes, sees the crowd, and disappears back inside. Amara collapses, shaking. Someone calls 911. 2 hours later at the police station, Costa studies security footage. The man's face caught entering her building. Facial recognition identifies him. Keith Mallory, a private security contractor known for corporate intimidation. Who hired him? Eleanor demands, arriving moments later. Costa checks records. Whitmore Industries Security Division. Payment authorized 3 days ago. Patrick opens the file, his face pale. The approval code. It's Carolyn's signature. Eleanor's voice turns deadly calm. "Arrest her! We're trying," Costa says. But Mallory's vanished. His phone rings. He listens, then looks grim. Keith Mallory was found dead an hour ago. Gunshot wound. Apparent suicide. "That's not suicide," Patrick mutters. "That's cleanup." Amara sits silently, processing the horror. Someone tried to kill her, then killed her attacker to bury the trail. Eleanor takes her hand. "You're staying here at the estate. No arguments." Amara just nods. That night, Detective Costa receives a call. Unknown number. "This is Detective Costa." A frail male voice answers. "My name is Father Michael Reyes. I'm a priest in hospice care. I've been following the Whitmore case. How can I help you, Father?" "It's what I can help you with," he says weakly. "I'm dying. Heart failure, maybe days left. I need to speak with Mrs. Whitmore. It's about Thomas." Costa straightens. "What about him?" "He came to confession in 2019, just before his death. He couldn't find peace. He asked me to break the seal if the truth ever came out. Gave me written permission, notarized. He told me what he did, but he wasn't the mastermind." Costa's pulse quickens. Then who was? The priest hesitates. "Someone Victoria trusted completely. Someone she loved like a sister. Her name was Dr. Naomi Carter." Costa freezes. "Victoria's best friend?" "Yes," the priest wheezes. "Thomas said she approached him in 2002, said the baby would ruin both their lives. She had connections at the hospital. She organized everything, paid everyone, made the threats. He just provided the money. Sometimes betrayal comes from the ones closest to us, the ones who know exactly where to strike." Naomi Carter, Victoria's best friend, maid of honor, the woman who comforted Eleanor at the funeral. Costa digs deeper. Naomi, now 46, a respected psychiatrist on Manhattan's Upper East Side. But in 2002, things were different. Naomi and Victoria were college roommates, inseparable. Then money changed everything. In 2001, Naomi married hedge fund manager Marcus Carter. Months later, he filed for divorce, citing his own infidelity. The court sided with him. Naomi walked away with only $200,000 and crushing debt. Victoria supported her, even testified in her favor. But by early 2002, Naomi's desperation grew. April 2002, Victoria co-signed a $2 million loan for Naomi, using Whitmore Foundation funds as collateral. Eleanor never knew. Naomi had forged her signature. If Victoria died and her heir was gone, Margaret explains, the debt would vanish. Naomi keeps the money. Patrick adds another detail. June 26, 2002. Marcus Carter dies in a boating accident. 2 weeks after Victoria's death, Dr. Okafor nods grimly. And his new girlfriend contested the will, but Naomi inherited everything. Costa calculates quickly. $45 million from Marcus, $2 million from Victoria, all within a month. Amara whispers, "It all fits." Awful, but it fits. Costa calls Naomi Carter. "Dr. Carter, this is Detective Raymond Costa, NYPD. I'd like to ask a few questions about Victoria Whitmore." Her tone is smooth, controlled. "Of course, Detective. I heard about Amara. Wonderful news. Eleanor must be thrilled. Would you come to the station? Just to clarify some details." "Of course," she says pleasantly. "Though I'm not sure how I can help. That was over 20 years ago. You remember it well enough, Costa replies. Silence. Then Naomi says softly, Victoria was my best friend. You don't forget losing someone like that. No, Costa agrees, his voice tightening. You don't. They schedule a meeting for 2 p.m. the next day. She agrees too easily, as if she's been expecting this call. That night, Eleanor sits alone, unable to sleep. She studies old photos. Victoria and Naomi at birthdays, graduations, holidays. Always side by side, always smiling. Patrick enters quietly. You couldn't have known, he says. I should have, Eleanor whispers. She fooled everyone, even Victoria. She looks at the photo again. She murdered my daughter, stole my granddaughter, and I let her stand beside me at the funeral. Patrick has no words. Next day, 2 p.m., police station. Dr. Naomi Carter arrives 15 minutes early, wearing a designer suit, carrying an Hermes bag, accompanied by her lawyer, Douglas Wainwright, expensive, ruthless. She sees Eleanor in the conference room. For a brief moment, her mask slips. Eleanor. Too long, Naomi thinks. She moves to embrace her. Eleanor steps back. Don't. Naomi's smile falters. She sits, placing Wainwright beside her. Detective Costa, Patrick, Dr. Okafor, and Margaret Shen fill the room. Recording equipment runs. Dr. Carter, thank you for coming, Costa begins. We are investigating the events surrounding Victoria Whitmore's death, particularly the disappearance of her baby. I thought the baby died, Naomi says cautiously. The baby is alive, Costa responds, gesturing to Amara. Naomi looks at her. Her expression does not change, but her grip tightens on her bag. How wonderful. You must be thrilled, Eleanor, Naomi says, voice calm. Eleanor says nothing, staring. Costa continues. We have testimony placing you at Roosevelt Medical Center the night Victoria died. Of course I was there. Victoria was my best friend. Financial records follow. Victoria co-signed a $2 million loan for you in April 2002. Naomi doesn't blink. She was generous. She helped me through a difficult divorce. Costa slides over phone records. 17 calls between you and Dr. Philip Grayson in the week before Victoria died. Why? I don't recall. That was 23 years ago. Testimony from Dr. Gerald Thornton. He claims a woman with a European accent gave instructions to falsify the stillbirth certificate. Naomi's lawyer objects. Hearsay. Costa plays a voicemail. Old, scratchy, but audible. Tell Grayson it's done. Naomi's face remains neutral, but a vein pulses. That could be anyone, she says. Costa presses. We have a witness. Linda Hartwell, surgical nurse, testifies. She saw Dr. Thornton hand a blanket-wrapped bundle to a woman in a red coat in the parking garage. Level B, June 15, 2002, Naomi scoffs. Thousands of women own red coats. Costa plays the recording of Father Michael Reyes. Thomas Whitmore confessed before death. Naomi Carter approached him in May 2002, claimed Victoria's baby would ruin both their lives, and had a plan. Hospital contacts, instructions, money. Thomas only provided funds. The room goes silent. Naomi's mask cracks slightly. Thomas was delirious. This is inadmissible, Wainwright whispers. Margaret Shen counters. Thomas notarized a statement allowing the priest to break the seal if the truth surfaced. Admissible. Costa leans in. Your ex-husband Marcus died 2 weeks after Victoria. Boating accident. Investigation reopened. Witness Carl Jennings confirms he was paid $50,000 to tamper with safety equipment. He identified you as the one who hired him. Naomi gasps. This is a setup. Patrick adds. 3 cash withdrawals from your account May 2002 totaling $150,000. Same week Thornton and Grayson were paid. Eleanor finally speaks icy. You were drowning in debt. Victoria had everything you wanted, and her baby stood between you and $45 million. Naomi's eyes blaze. You have nothing. Speculation and coincidence, Costa stands. Dr. Naomi Carter, you are under arrest for conspiracy to commit kidnapping, fraud, and conspiracy to commit murder. Wainwright jumps. This is outrageous. But Naomi snaps. 23 years of hiding and fear shatter. She pushes Wainwright aside. You want the truth? Fine, yes, I did it. All of it. Victoria had everything, the money, family, love. The baby would inherit billions while she had nothing. Eleanor trembles with rage. Naomi continues, voice rising. I convinced Thomas to help. I paid Grayson and Thornton. I told them to abandon the baby because I couldn't risk her asking questions. And yes, I had Marcus killed. He humiliated me, threw me away for a 26-year-old. Wainwright looks stunned. Naomi laughs, bitter. I'm not sorry. Victoria was naive. Thomas weak. They deserved it. The baby survived, inherited billions, and so what's the problem? Eleanor steps forward. Quiet but devastating. The problem, Naomi, is you'll spend the rest of your life in prison knowing your schemes achieved nothing but your destruction. Security handcuffs Naomi. She screams, Victoria didn't deserve that fortune. She was going to waste it. I deserved it. The door closes, silence, Amara cries. Eleanor wraps her in an arm. These are the black stories. Evil doesn't always wear a mask. Sometimes it wears the face of a friend. 3 days later, Manhattan Criminal Courthouse. Media circus. Cameras flash. Protesters hold signs. Eleanor and Amara arrive, escorted by security. Inside, standing room only. Dr. Naomi Carter sits at the defense table, orange jumpsuit, no makeup, mask gone. Wainwright beside her, looking aged. Carolyn Whitmore sits separately. Legal team for accessory and conspiracy charges. Judge Ramona Torres enters. 64 years old, 2 decades on the bench, zero tolerance. All rise. Assistant District Attorney James Wu stands. Your Honor, the people will show that Dr. Naomi Carter orchestrated a 23-year conspiracy. Kidnapping, fraud, and murder. He lays out DNA evidence, financial records, testimony. Linda Hartwell, 71, takes the stand, nervous but determined. The baby didn't die. She was healthy, crying, perfect, Wu guides. What happened next? I saw Dr. Thornton take her. Documented a stillbirth, said it was a family request. 3 days later, I saw him in the parking garage with a woman. Dark hair, red coat, expensive. He handed her something wrapped in a blanket. Wu displays a photo. Could this be her? Build, height, and confidence match. Wainwright cross-examines, tries to poke holes. Linda stands firm. Next, Dr. Gerald Thornton testifies. Immunity granted. He looks broken. I falsified the stillbirth certificate. Paid $100,000, instructions came through burner phones. Have you ever only heard a name once? A voicemail. A woman said, tell Grayson it's done. Describe the voice. Educated. Cold. Slight European accent. Wu plays the recording and submits voice. Analysis 92% matched to Dr. Carter. Murmurs ripple through the courtroom. Carl Jennings testifies. The boat mechanic, conscience heavy. She paid me $50,000 to tamper with Marcus Carter's boat. Safety equipment. Make it look accidental. Who hired you? Dr. Naomi Carter. Met her at the marina. She told me exactly what to do. Wu shows surveillance footage, May 2002, Jennings meeting Naomi. It's her. No question. Father Michael Reyes appears via video. Hospice oxygen tube, weeks left. Thomas Whitmore's confession. June 2019, days before death. What did he confess about the baby? How Naomi Carter convinced him it was necessary. The baby would destroy their inheritances. Naomi orchestrated it. Hospital connections, payments. Thomas just provided money. Wainwright objects. Wu submits Thomas's notarized permission. Judge Torres allows it. Amara takes the stand. Silence falls. Wu approaches gently. Miss Bennett, tell the court about your childhood. 7 foster homes before I aged out at 18, some good, most weren't. Family support? I had no one. No records, no history. Just a necklace and questions. How did you survive? 2 jobs in high school, 3 in college, scholarships, loans. I worked every day to become a nurse. What did you think about your biological family? I thought they didn't want me. I thought I wasn't worth keeping. Eleanor's eyes fill with tears. Now you know the truth. I know I was wanted, but someone decided my life was worth less than money. You stole 23 years, condemned me to poverty, killed people for money. Naomi stares back, no remorse. Wainwright cross-examines. You stand to inherit billions. I don't care about money. I care about my grandmother, the life we lost, the mother I never knew. Money doesn't fix that. Whispers ripple through the courtroom. Naomi's final outburst. You all act righteous, but you do the same. Victoria was going to waste billions on charity, on strangers. Judge Torres bangs the gavel. Dr. Carter, sit down. No, I worked for everything. Victoria had it handed to her. She didn't deserve it. Security moves in. Naomi laughs bitterly. My only mistake was not destroying that necklace. Victoria was weak. Thomas was weak. And that baby? She points at Amara. Should have stayed lost. Security restrains her. She continues screaming. Judge Torres's face is stone. I've heard enough. She reviews evidence, testimony, confession. Dr. Naomi Carter, I find probable cause on all charges.
How do you plead?
Naomi cuts off her lawyer. Guilty to everything. The courtroom erupts. Judge Torres's voice cuts through. Dr. Carter, you destroyed lives, murdered 2 people, stole a child's identity, corrupted professionals, threatened witnesses. I sentence you to life without parole. Consecutive sentences and civil liability apply. Naomi doesn't react. Empty. Carolyn Whitmore, 30 years, parole after 20 doctor. Philip Grayson, 15 years doctor. Gerald Thornton, 10 years. License revoked as they're led away. Eleanor holds Amara's hand. Justice is served. Outside reporters swarm. Eleanor speaks briefly. My granddaughter was stolen 23 years ago by people I trusted. Today, justice affirmed that cruelty will not go unpunished. We ask for privacy as we heal. Amara speaks softly. To every foster child wondering if you matter, you do. Your story matters. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The crowd erupts. Eleanor and Amara walk hand in hand. The past can't be changed, but the future is theirs. 6 months later, Amara walks through the Whitmore estate gardens. Morning sun filters through oak trees. Birds sing, peace she never knew exists. She lives in the guest house when a compromise. Eleanor wants to give everything to make up for lost time. Amara wants independence. They clash but are learning. Nursing school graduation. Eleanor sits front row. Tears stream as Amara crosses the stage. Degree earned through her own work, not money or connections. Afterward, Eleanor hugs her. Victoria would be so proud. I wish I'd known her. You have her strength, her heart, her determination. You know her through yourself. They visit Victoria's grave monthly on the 12th. Eleanor places white roses. Amara touches the headstone. I'm here, Mom. I'm okay. We're okay. The Victoria Whitmore Foundation launches $200 million. Focus: foster children, education, scholarships, mental health, family reunification. Amara serves on the board using her experience to help others. First meeting. She presents statistics. 20,000 kids age out of foster care each year. Goal: change that. Board approves proposals. Tessa Rodriguez, first scholarship recipient. You did this. Amara, we did this. No child should feel forgotten. Amara Bennett Act. DNA banking for all abandoned infants. Family connection protocols. Roosevelt Medical Center restructures. Independent infant death reviews. Detective Costa heads hospital fraud adoption task force. Identifies 12 suspicious cases. Dr. Okafor publishes Stolen Childhoods. How Medical Corruption Destroys Families. Required reading. Nationwide civil lawsuit settles. $45 million from Naomi's estate. Roosevelt Medical Center, co-conspirators. Amara receives $30 million. She donates all to foster care reform, medical oversight, legal aid. I don't need guilt money, she tells reporters. I need to make sure this never happens again. 1 year later, Amara works first shift as NICU nurse at Roosevelt Medical Center. Eleanor worried. Amara insists. This is where Mom died, where I was stolen, but it's also where babies are saved. I want to be part of healing. She tends to a premature infant. Eleanor brings lunch. Chaos around them, but it feels real. Amara touches her necklace and compass bracelet Eleanor gave her. You know what's funny? What? I spent my life feeling lost. Now I realize I was never lost, just stolen. And you never stopped looking, Eleanor. I didn't know I was looking, but my heart knew something was missing. They sit in comfortable silence. Amara Bennett was abandoned, labeled unwanted, discarded. For 23 years she fought to survive. A single necklace became the thread that unraveled a conspiracy, restored a family and exposed corruption. Villains behind bars, the system changing, justice served, but the real victory? Eleanor finally hears someone call her grandma. Amara understood she was never unwanted. She was stolen. These real stories teach us, can broken families heal? Can justice overcome power? Can one person's courage change everything? Amara's story answers yes. If we fight for truth, never accept injustice, and remember every abandoned child has a story worth uncovering. The necklace was a symbol. Amara is a miracle. Not because she was rescued, but because she never stopped searching for truth. Have you ever wondered what secrets your family hides? What injustices remain behind closed doors? Amara reminds us, truth is worth fighting for, and love always finds its way home. If this story touched you, share it, comment your journey, and subscribe for more real-life stories of courage and resilience.